Hi friends, today I'm going to teach you a game called Piggy Bank. It is easy to learn and it gives your child practice with addition and multiplication facts as well as develop their ability with probability and estimation. First, we will demonstrate the game for kindergarten and first grade. At the end of the first demonstration, I will give you the variations for grades 2 through 5. Have fun! First, I will have Macy write Piggy and Bank across the top of her board. She will divide her board into two sections. She will also put the amount that we're going to play for at the top of her board. For the first game, we're going to play to 50. Here is how you play Piggy Bank. Pig is a game for 2 to 6 players. Players take turns rolling a die as many times as they like. If a roll is a 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, the player adds that many points to their score for their turn on the piggy side. A player may choose to end their turn at any time and bank their points. If a player rolls a 1, they lose all of their unbanked points and their turn is over. Remember, beginner games, the first player to score 50 or more points can win. An advanced game, the first player to score 100 or more points can win. Happy playing! Isaiah will begin the game. He will roll 1 die. He will then mark how many points that die rolled on the piggy side. Then he'll roll again if he chooses to. But because he rolled a 1, his turn is over. So he crosses those points out and the turn moves to Brianna. She rolls. And then she decides to roll again. But because she rolled a 1, her turn is over. She loses those points because they were not banked. Now it's Macy's turn to roll. And she will then mark down her points rolled. If she chooses to, she can roll again. And so she will add those points together. She's going to use the number line because in K1 we tend to use tools to help us to do our addition, and that's fine. And now Macy will decide, will she keep rolling or will she bank? And as you see, she decided to bank. She's going to save those points. So now she'll erase her piggy side and the dice will move to Isaiah. Now Isaiah will continue his turn. He will roll the dice and tally his points that he rolled. And then he decided to continue rolling. Remember, you decide when you want to stop. So what chance are you willing to take? He's going to use the 10 frame to show and count his numbers. So he started by putting 5 in the top box for his first number, and he put 4 at the bottom for his bottom number, and then he joined them together to make one group, and he decided to bank those points to save them. So that game would continue with your kindergarten and first grade students up to the number 50, because that's what we decided on. The first person to 50 wins. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the variations of this game for the older students. For kids that are in second grade, I would say you can add another dice and do 2-digit numbers or a 3-digit number, and they would roll and play the game the same way. Of course, you would have to increase the value of what you're going to play to determine your winner. For third grade through fifth, here's a great variation for this game. Those students would use 2 dice. You would play 2 to 4 players. You can use dice that have a 6, 8, 10, or a 12-sided dice. For grades 3 through 5, they will roll 2 dice instead of 1. If the product of the 2 dice is even, score the product and decide whether to roll again or bank your points for this turn. If the product is odd, lose your bank points and your turn will end. You can play up to 300 points or more. You decide on how high you want to go. But remember, you will roll the 2 dice. Those 2 dice will be multiplied together to come up with the product. And then as you're putting them into the piggy side, you will add those new numbers together to up to a number of your chosen value. So now Isaiah will begin the game. He wrote a 4 and a 1, and he multiplied those 4 times 1. It's 4. It's even, so he puts it on the piggy side. Then he wrote a 4 and a 3, and that makes 4 times 3, 12. So he can add that to his piggy side because that's an even number. Now he has to decide, will he continue to roll or will he bank? Let's see what he does. He banked them. So now he'll erase his piggy side, put his 16 on his bank side, and he will pass the dice to Brianna. She will roll, and she rolled 5 and a 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. However, that's an odd number. So she wrote it down, but then she has to cross it out because it's an odd number. And then the turn will pass to Macy. Macy decides to roll, and she wrote a 3 and a 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. She puts on the piggy side because it's an even number. She rolls again. She gets a 6 and a 6. 6 times 6 is 36. She's going to move her 6 over to keep it in the ones column so that she can make sure her numbers are always aligned. And then she'll place her 36 underneath it and begin adding. The sum of those two numbers makes 42. So she decides to roll again. And this time she wrote a 3 and a 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. She's going to add it to her 42, and she comes up with, that's right, 48. Now she has to think, will I continue to roll or will I bank? She decided to bank. So she'll move her 48 over to her bank side. Those points are now safe. She'll erase her piggy side, and the dice will move to Isaiah. Isaiah's first roll, he wrote a 3 and a 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. It's an even number, so he puts it in a piggy. This time he wrote a 2 and a 1. 2 times 1 is 2. He puts it in the piggy. It's an even number. Adds those together. The sum of those two digits is 8. So he's going to roll again. And this time he wrote a 6 and a 6, and that makes 36. 6 times 6 is 36. He aligns his numbers, solves it, and now we have to see, will he continue on or will he bank? He decided to bank. So now Brianna rolls. She wrote a 4 and a 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Guess what? Even number, so she puts it in her piggy side. She's going to roll again. She wrote a 3 and a 1. Boy, does she not have very much luck. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 is an odd number, so she has to cross out her piggy bank and pass the die to Macy. Macy's turn. She rolls a 3 and a 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So that's an even number, so she gets to keep it. She rolls again. She rolls a 4 and a 4. 4 times 4 is 16. And then she's going to decide, will she roll again or will she bank it? Oh, she's going to take a chance. She's going to roll again. This time she wrote a 6 and a 6, and that makes 36. She's going to add it to her piggy side. Now what will she do? Let's wait and see. She banked them. So she'll add it to her bank side to save those points and keep them protected, erase her piggy side, and the game will continue. They're going to play to the number 500. So there you have it, Piggy Bank for grades K through 5. It is a game to practice addition and multiplication facts while working on probability and estimation. Have fun, friends!